And the WHO says there is no reason to stop using the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. That's after Thailand and several other European nations halted rollout over blood clot fears. Well, let's stay on that story about the AstraZeneca vaccines. And for that, we have Dr. Bharat Pankania from the University of Exeter joining us. Doctor, welcome. Now, the WHO, as well as some of the European drug regulators, are saying no reason to stop using AstraZeneca's vaccine. But with so much still unknown about all vaccines, do you still have concerns about this particular continued use?
No, we should be very precautionary and measured in our actions. And therefore, we need to consider the global evidence. And the global evidence is that the AstraZeneca Oxford vaccine has been given in millions of doses. And we have not found any evidence that people vaccinated compared to people not vaccinated have suffered an excess of blood clotting. So we need to take things into perspective. Furthermore, of course, we know that COVID-19 disease per se also leads to clotting disorders. So there is a lot of, is this responsibility of the vaccine or other things could be happening? The vaccines per se save lives, and we mustn't forget that.
Well, bearing in mind what you mentioned about, this issue of global evidence, do you think that other countries should perhaps start re-evaluating AstraZeneca's vaccine? What's your recommendation?
Well, my recommendation is we always have watchfulness and surveillance of what happens after the vaccine has been deployed in the field. But it is still important that we don't take drastic, what we call hares-running decisions, because the evidence clearly shows that the vaccine works, that the vaccine given in their millions of doses is safe and effective. This is most probably a coincidence rather than a cause and effect. And therefore, we need to get the messaging very right, very clear, because we don't want people to be afraid and frightened that this vaccine may harm them. I don't think it will harm them. If anything, it will protect them and save their lives.
Nonetheless, what do you think the impact of countries like Thailand now being the first in Asia to halt the vaccine, what could possibly be the impact on the reputation of AstraZeneca when trust is such a vital component of these vaccines?
I agree. It's not only the trust, but the messaging and the public relations. And it is in the interest of all governments as well as the pharmaceutical companies that we get the messaging right. Unfortunately, in these days of rapid news traveling with so many outlets, we need to get the message right. And the message is as follows. We are making sure that the vaccine is safe. We are looking into an association with, is it vaccine-caused clots? At this point in time, we have no evidence to suggest that the vaccine causes clots. There are many other reasons why people can get clots as well. And our evidence is very clear. Of the millions of people immunized across the world, we have not seen an excess of clots amongst the people who have been immunized compared to people who have not been immunized.
Dr. Pankania, do we know anything about the situation with those individuals who experience blood clotting? You've mentioned that COVID-19 itself can cause people to get blood clots. I mean, should people worry?
Well, the big worry is don't get infected and don't infect other people. And the best way not to get severe COVID-19 disease is to be immunized. And all these vaccines that have been released after thorough testing and trialing by independent verification have been shown to be safe. So if I were giving the message out, I say the vaccines will save your lives. It is better to be protected than to have an unknown, unexpected outcome further to getting infected by the SARS-CoV-2 virus.
Dr. Pankania, thank you very much for sharing your perspectives with us today. That was Dr. Bharat Pankania from the University of Exeter.